Hello, everybody, and welcome here to Las Vegas Motor Speedways. We're getting set for race number 3 of the debut season of the NR2003 Diva Cup Series. We're getting set for 27 laps of racing. It was an interesting race in yesterday's Diva Busch Series race that really played a major part in shaking up the points so far here this weekend. With today being a fun race and we're dealing with cloudy conditions, what are we in for here in today's race? We will have to wait and see. On the pole position is Jillian Black in the number 0. She is alongside of Courtney Lynn in the number 4 machine. Two drivers who are trying to turn some slow starts around. Of course, Courtney Lynn had a very good run last week at Rockingham, North Carolina. And we'll see how those two drivers will do here in today's race. I had to upload the Diva Busch Series points as of this recording. So, yeah, Jillian Black comes into this race. If I find her in points, Courtney Lynn jumped up to 15th in the points after a top 5 run last week. Jillian Black, on the other hand, is dead last in the point standing. So Jillian Black needs to turn what has not been a good start to the season around. Melissa Cooper comes into this race 35th in the point standings, and Jill Thomas, who had a pretty not so good finish, or actually Jill Thomas is the points leader. Excuse me. Her sister Molly dropped through the points table like crazy. She dropped all the way down to 17th in the points after a poor finish last week at Rockingham, North Carolina. Let's get these cars rolling off. Let's go over the point standings presented by Golden Corral. As I said, Jill Thomas is the points leader by 22 points over Annie Crenshaw. Elena Aurora is 23 back, third in the standings. 26 back is Prudence Martindale, who's fourth in the standings. Brooklyn Carter rounds out your top 5. She is 29 points back. 37 points back is Jesse Hart, who's 6th. Amber Whitecastle, 45 points back in 7th. Sydney Vortex, 51 points back in 8th. Gwen Tennyson, 52 points back in 9th. And 53 points back is Annie Winters. Cloudy conditions set over the Viva Las Vegas track as we're getting set for 27 laps of racing. We had a couple of yellows in yesterday's Diva Busch Series race. Will we see a different strategy as far as that race is concerned, or will we see a completely different race, knowing that we're racing in cloudy conditions versus sunny conditions in yesterday's Diva Busch race? Excuse me. Pace car is off. Here we go. The UAW Daimler Chrysler 400 is green. Let's go racing, girls. And a very good start for Jillian Black as we head to the back straightaway for the first time of 27. As I hit my darn leg on accident. And it looks like Courtney Lynn's going to take the race lead. So nice job from our outside pole sitter. She'll lead the first lap of this race. Courtney Lynn under attack by Melissa Cooper. As I said, 35th in the standings. Not off to a very good start in the season. I heard some scraping. I think we're going to be under caution for the first time today. And survey says, I don't know if we are. And yes, we are, because I can see Courtney Lynn starting to slow down. So we are under caution on lap number 2. Boy, it didn't take long. Unlike our Diva Busch race yesterday, where they went a little bit further, we didn't get so lucky as we had a wreck on the back straightaway. I was getting some cookies as of this recording. Oh, no. Brenda Evelyn's in it. Matilda Cobb. Pete Ramirez. Alicia Marquez. June Bailey is involved. Crystal Fontaine. Chrissy House. Maddie Crenshaw. Annie Winters. I'm naming off drivers inside the top 10 of the points. Looks like June Bailey was also involved along with the 0-2. So first caution is out here at Las Vegas. Let's go back and look at a replay to find out what in the world happened as we're in the early stages of this race here at Las Vegas. Well, first off, let's show you what didn't bring out the caution, as looks like Zachary Taylor is going to get thrown off a cliff by Cody Smart because Lauren Ekstrom just got turned by Maddie Crenshaw. And looks like everybody trying to scatter and not hit the Altel Dodge. And looked like the 10. Oh, there's where the 90 got clipped. I think that's what brought out the caution. As the 90 car hit the wall. Let's see if that was indeed the caution. Yeah, it was the caution. But then what happens over here in turn 1? Most of the cars have already taken the caution. But watch this second incident right here, involving the 16 to 21. Maddie Crenshaw not done causing problems. Hooks Chrissy House, shoves Annie Winters in the wall, And there's where the 8 gets a piece of it. We'll look at the 27 incident in a minute. Brooklyn Carter got a piece of it. Maddie Crenshaw got karmic retribution. Collected Brooklyn Carter, Lisa Simpson. There's Mary Morris involved. June Bailey, as I mentioned. Pete Ramirez. Brenda Evelyn, Crystal Fontaine. Let's see how that happened. Oh, Fontaine flipped upside down. Okay, what caused this one was, or the second part of the incident, 4 wide at Las Vegas. Not a good idea. Mary Morris just stuck her nose in there, and unfortunately, June Bailey, Crystal Fontaine had nowhere to go. And upside down goes the DeWalt Ford. The 30 car shoved Brenda Evelyn. That was Maria Steiner who shoved Brenda Evelyn into this incident. Like the 88 got a piece of it. That's Ashley Reynolds. And then the 16 goes upside down. There's where the 8 gets a piece of it. There's Lisa Simpson, who runs into the Budweiser Chevrolet. Mackenzie Thompson involved. And Chrissy House upside down. Looks like she'll come to rest on her roof. How did Hannah Blue Jay get a piece of it? Oh, she ran it back of her teammate in the 5. I don't think it did her damage any bad, Gwen Tennyson, so. But man, oh man, there's Matilda Cobb. Her day looks like to be done. Same with Chrissy House, so. That's what brought out the caution for the first time today. I don't think there's going to be some people happy with Maddie Crenshaw after this, and I don't think there's going to be some people happy with Zachary Taylor for wrecking Cody's drivers not once but twice in the same lap. So that's what brought out the yellow for the first time today. Let's jump to the restart here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap number 7 of 27. Should give us a total of 21 laps of racing to go. Courtney Lynn is the leader. Jill Thomas is second. Melissa Cooper in third. Jesse Art fourth, with Jillian Black, our pole sitter, in fifth. Elena Aurora is sixth. Seventh is Molly Thomas. Prudence Martindale eighth. Ninth, Sydney Vortex. And Scarlett Wallace completes the top 10. Only 29 cars are going to be on the lead lap. Drivers out after that incident: Maddie Crenshaw, Matilda Cobb, Annie Winters, Chrissy House, Crystal Fontaine, her teammate. June Bailey in the 1, Peach Ramirez. The 0-2, that's Kayla Brown, Mackenzie Thompson, Alicia Marquez, Lisa Simpson, Brenda Evelyn, and Lauren Ekstrom, who have all gone behind the wall and out of the race. And that's going to take a big hit for a couple of people that were inside the top 10 of the points entering this race. Green flag back in the air. Let's see if we can try to get some green flag racing going here instead of having a demolition derby on that first caution. But I can tell you, Maddie Crenshaw is going to have some explaining to do because she turned not one but two of Cody's drivers, even though, yeah, it is Cody's drivers. Well, Lauren Ekstrom is technically still with Cody Smart, even though she was building BMWs. But besides the point, that's two of Cody's drivers that Maddie Crenshaw took out in a span of one fell swoop. The only thing that Maddie Crenshaw didn't take out was her sister, Annie Crenshaw. Jill Thomas is running in second. Let's find the gal that came as race second in points. There's Annie Crenshaw. Last time by scored in the 20th position. Came as race second in points, the Blue Deuce. Annie Crenshaw's had a solid start to the season. As Courtney Lynn's about to lose the lead to Jill Thomas. There's Melissa Cooper having a good run. Cooper, as I said, 35th in points. There's Molly Thomas, who's 17th in points. When Tennyson off the pace there, there's Mary Morris. Ashley Reynolds. I failed to mention on Ashley Reynolds, she's running the updated logo on the UPS Ford. I want to point that out. And a Blue Jay in the 48 trying to chase down Brooklyn Carter. Annie Crenshaw having a struggle with her handling. Of course, remember, she came as race second in points. Ginger Fountley there. There's Carla Sanat. Lauren Gribius, Ellen Benson. A couple of people needing good runs here today. There's fourth in points. That is Prudence Martindale. And that is third in points, Elena Aurora. Of course, she's also another gal that's trying to run down Jill Thomas for the points lead, as Molly's going to take the lead. Molly Thomas, as I said, had a terrible race last week. Finished poorly last week. Dropped all the way outside the top 10 to 17th in the standings. Trying to pick up the second straight win for Joe Gibbs Racing. Jill Thomas, our winner from Coca-Cola a couple of weeks ago. Ooh, contact there with Jill Thomas and Sydney Vortex in the 7. Good run for Sydney Vortex. I haven't talked much about her. Comes this race 8th in the point standing, so not too bad for the Ultra Motorsports Dodge, the Sirius Satellite Radio Dodge. I bet Mungo's pretty happy about that. Next week, we have Atlanta Motor Speedway, so we head back from the West Coast to the East Coast. as we're going to go racing from Atlanta Motor Speedway. Going to be Diva Bush and Diva Cup. Then the following week, all three series returns. The Truck Series returns from their 3 weeks off. They're in the middle of their off weeks. A lot of drivers probably in that series need to regroup after a poor race at Coca-Cola a couple of weeks ago. Then all three series will be racing at Bristol, which we're going to be using the 2003 day race. Which will be interesting. Of course, Bristol this year is getting one race because there's a couple of debut tracks we're going to be going to on the schedule. Of course, we're only coming here to Vegas only once, now that we're inside 10 to go, by the way. Molly Thomas and Sydney Vortex, a couple of Monster Energy drivers from back in the day. Molly Thomas drove, I believe, for Hendrick Motorsports. Yeah, I think she did drive for Hendrick Motorsports. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, her sister did. I'm sorry. Trying to remember what ride Molly Thomas was in the Monster Energy series. I know Sydney Vortex drove for Turner Buick Racing in the Monster Energy series, which Sydney Vortex has already got a multi-year contract. There's Courtney Lynn. And as this race comes down to a close, if you guys missed the announcement, of course, those of you in the President's chat, you basically already know the announcement. For those of you on YouTube who does not know the announcement came out yesterday, is that I have bought out the I am going to buy out the World Racing Association and the WRLA, and they will be relocated to our PCS campus. That will begin after this season ends, at the end of the season, believe it or not. Because I know there's a couple of series in the WRLA I would like to give a second chance. One of them being the Venom Truck Series, the other one being the McDonald's Series. Courtney Lynn now going to go to second place. Sydney Vortex leads as they're going to lap Gwen Tennyson fairly soon. So ever since that engine problem back at Coca-Cola a couple of weeks ago, Courtney Lynn's really gotten her mojo going. Only I wish her BFF and girlfriend Brenda Eveling, can get that going. Because Brenda Eveling, as I look at the points coming into this race, Brenda Eveling was 38th in points, and she could not afford a bad finish. Same with Matilda Cobb, who's out of the race. Same with Crystal Fontaine, June Bailey, and also Hannah Blue Jay, let's see where Hannah Blue Jay's running. Blue Jay's in 26, so not a good run, but at least she's not dead last. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. But I can't wait till we go to Ricky. Sydney Vortex being held up. Here comes Courtney Lynn with 2 to go. Where did the 9 of Becky Walters come from? That Dodge Dealers UAW number 9 Dodge. Becky Walters was 37th going into last week's race at Rockingham. She's up to 18th in the point standings. Sydney Vortex not going to be happy with Gwen Tennyson. White flags in the air for Courtney Lynn. Last lap for Courtney Lynn. Of course, Brenda Eveling's out of the race. Courtney Lynn was the last hope for Amber McMillan, who's the mom of Courtney Lynn. And Courtney Lynn's going to try to hold off the 9. And looks like she's going to do it. First win of her Diva Cup career. Courtney Lynn wins the UAW Daimler Chrysler 400. And this will fire Courtney Lynn up into the top 10 in the point standings after today's race. So we went nicely long green flag run, so we'll definitely take that for the Diva Cup Series, unlike the Diva Bush Series. That was a carnage fest yesterday. Becky Walters will get second, so driver came as race 18th in the point standings. Nice result. She'll continue moving her way through the point standings. Molly Thomas, a bounce back result, came home in third with 17th in points, so nice bounce back result. Sydney Vortex should have won this race if lap traffic didn't screw her over, but still another solid result. She's now gotten 2 top 5s and 2 top 10s in the first 3 races, so that's not too bad for that 7 team. I expect them to win a race soon. Melissa Cooper, well-needed run, 35th in the point standings. A 5th place result will do her wonder. Jill Thomas came home in 6th. She was your points leader coming in this race. She will no doubt keep the points lead. Amber Whitecastle came home in 7th. That was 7th in points for Amber Whitecastle, so she'll stay in the top 10 in the points. Same with Prudence Martindale, who came as race 4th in the points, finishing 8th. She'll probably be 2nd in points, depending where Annie Crenshaw finishes. Mia Watts, well-needed run for that 45 team after the first 2 races did not go according to plan. Fell all the way to 28th in the point standings, so she'll move back up through the top 20 in the standings with a 9th place result. And Brittany White, good run from her with a 10th place finish. Brittany came into this race, Brittany White that is, 12th in the point standings. She might have moved herself inside the top 10 of the points because a number of drivers who came in running well in points going to take some hits. Top 15 was completed by Elena Rorick. Good run from her. Monica Towns, Ellen Benson, Ginger Foutley, and Josephine Bouvier. Top 20 was completed by Lauren Grubius, Jesse Art, Scarlett Wallace, Carla Sanat, and Jillian Black. Annie Crenshaw, 21st, came as race 2nd in points, so that's not the run she was hoping for. Look on down through the remainder of the finishing results. 28 cars finished on the lead lap. Mary Morris was the last car that finished on the lead lap. Gwen Tennyson was the only car that finished 1 lap down in 29th. And then everybody else finished out of the race. Mandy Crenshaw, a lot of people are not going to be happy with her. Cody Smart is absolutely not going to be happy with Mandy Crenshaw. Matilda Cobb, Annie Winters, Chrissy House, Crystal Fontaine, June Bailey, Pete Ramirez, Kayla Brown, Mackenzie Thompson, Alicia Marquez, Lisa Simpson, Brenda Eveling, and Lauren Ekstrom. Boy, Viva Las Vegas turned out to be a bit of a point shakeup here in the Diva Cup Series, and I can't wait to get to Atlanta Motor Speedway next week. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race from Las Vegas for the Cup Series. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Race Crew today. We showed your full finish results. You'll see your point standings in a separate video. Heading into our next race at Atlanta Motor Speedway will be Diva Bush and Diva Cup. Hope you will tune in for some good racing from Hot Atlanta. Until then, I've been Dita signing off. Thank you for watching another broadcast of PCS Race TV, celebrating 14 years of existence, the best NR racing around the world since 2017. So long from Viva Las Vegas. We'll see you in Hot Atlanta next week.